Good evening, everyone. Friends, today we are going to discuss the recent changes, whatever the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the CB has announced, particularly in the month of June so far. It's just a roundup to make sure that we stay updated because the time is that staying updated, sitting at home, and staying safe above all. So, if you start with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the first change that they have brought in during this month is on 7th of June, whereby they have made it very clear that the ease of doing business in India, the government will have a complete thrust on it. And the फॉर्म जो हमारा एजाइल प्रो था वो एजाइल प्रो एस हो गया. That is a change which has come from the rule 38A, means allowing shops and establishment registration be through this form, the Spice web version. So Agile Pro has again come as a new feature like shops and establishment registration, which certainly will pump more and more startups to encourage them for the business, new ventures to come up as companies. The next change which has come in the mid of this month is relating to the board meeting relaxation. We all know we have started doing VC video conferencing meeting and all due to this COVID. And temporary relaxation was being provided under Rule 4. पहले वो 30th सितंबर तक, देन दिसंबर तक, देन फाइनली 30th जून तक था वो, जो अब मिनिस्ट्री हैज omitted this rule at all. So that means for all the matters now you can have the board meeting, means through video conference. No more requirement that you need to meet physically. Earlier, for approval of financial statement, for merger acquisitions, for approving board's report, the board was required to meet physically with the quorum. But no longer such requirement exists. तो अब आराम से घर बैठे VC कर सकते हैं. All the board meetings through VC are valid. The next change which has come on the 23rd of June, just recently, is by virtue of the new Ind AS rule, like further modification to the Ind AS rule and the accounting standard rule, which exempted the small and medium sized company. Now the threshold for the small and medium sized company has increased. It is like for the turnover, it has straight away jumped to 250 crore, and for the borrowing, it straight away jumped to 50 crore. So just you can imagine that they have given such a bigger threshold that these companies, small and medium sized company, will simply apply accounting standards issued by the ICI and not the India's. So in terms of declaration, in terms of disclosure in the financial statement, all this will be reduced for these company. But हाँ ध्यान रखिएगा, this small and medium sized company is defined only for the purpose of this rule. You can't read the definition for the purpose of small company definition. So that was another welcome. On the similar day, 23rd, the ministry has further allowed the AGM and the postal ballot to be continued to be held through VC till 31st of December 2021. We all know, considering the ongoing pandemic, the situation, and of course we don't know how many waves it will have. So the ministry has already given a relaxation for the AGMs and all on the 13th of January, which is valid till 31st of December 2021. अब EGM और postal ballot के लिए भी similar relaxation they have issued by way of its circular. So these are the all changes which are the recent changes in the MCA. Parallelly, SEBI doesn't lift any stone untouched. SEBI also, after much awaited a discussion, on 10th of June, they have brought a complete new frame of delisting regulation. Important thing is that is these listing regulation में under regulation 10, the company secretary having peer review have got a recognition. तो अब वो ड्यू डिलिजेंस जो रिपोर्ट हम लोग मर्चेंट बैंकर की प्लेस करते थे टू द बोर्ड फॉर इट्स अप्रूवल, वो रिपोर्ट we will place it from the company secretary. So that's a good thing, you can place a good moment for the company secretary. So sir, merchant banker का क्या हुआ? Merchant banker in any case regulation 9 में still है that they are required to be appointed prior to public announcement. और इसमें delisting बहुत सारे changes हो गए, like it has become a time bound process. You have to apply for in principle approval within 15 days of shareholders approval. Stock exchange will clear your application within 15 days from the date of receipt of proper application. So entire process has become time bound. Plus now similarly like a takeover, independent directors report will be there to the shareholders in the delisting regulation as well. So ये key change मैं आपको थोड़े highlight कर दिया so that you don't get confused. At the same parallel line, on the 15th June and 16th June, the SEBI has come out with the relaxation under the ESOP and one more requirement under the insider trading. ESOP में क्या relaxation था? ESOP में relaxation, we all know when shares are vested, there is a minimum time period of 1 year. But considering the ongoing pandemic situation, whereby many of like us, we have lost our near or dear ones in some cases. If not, then we should be the happy one and the thanks to the God. So in those situations, the ministry, SEBI has taken a view that if there is any death of the employee on or after 1st of April 2020, then SEBI is saying for them, don't count this minimum vesting period. Let it be vested immediately to their legal heirs so that they can be benefited. Now, don't say that is it only for COVID. It is for all the cases on or after 1st of April 2020. Second, as which was saying that more disclosure requirement for the system-driven basis. We all know there is already existing framework for system-driven disclosure under the insider trading. September 2020 में the SEBI has come out with a circular जिसमें आपको NSDL या डिपॉजिटरी वगैरह में डेटाबेस सिस्टम ड्रिवन करने हैं अपने KMP के अपने promoters के you need to feed the details and based on these details which you will feed onto the system, the stock exchange will monitor those transactions in the securities of your company. Now this recent circular by the ministry in the mid-June, they have specified clearly that now this system-driven disclosure even will be for listed debt securities of equity listed company. So of course, first condition is that equity listed company it has to be, and then उसके ना सिर्फ इक्विटी का डिटेल्स लेगा बल्कि लिस्टेड डेट का भी डिटेल ले लेगा. So that is what the new change in the system driven. So these are the key highlights. Again, I'm saying key highlights which we have just discussed about the MCA changes and the SEBI changes. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay secure, and yes, more so, stay updated. Thanks again. Bye-bye.